Hey, hello everybody. We are back in Avernus as the adorable critter grins across the hellscape at us. And let us first give a shout out to the wonderful Syrinscape for giving us the ability to give you these lovely sounds. The music you are hearing and the sound effects that will be following shortly after are all from Syrinscape. Give them a whirl. They've got lots of nice free samples to try, and then subscribe for the full range of all their awesomeness. Now, last time we were in Avernus, the pits, this motley crew of adventurers stroke musicians, were leaving the intimidating Temple of Tiamat, or Monument of Tiamat, her prison, den, lair, tough to say, but they were leaving. But as they went to leave, their Corvin friend, Corvin, suddenly had a strange turn and started to speak in a strange tongue and scrawl on a rock in his own blood. And in doing so, tore rifts in the very air itself, and hideous creatures from the far realm stepped through and attacked the party. As this was happening on the ground, up in the skies of Avernus, a similar-looking, organic kind of airship appeared, chased by Githyanki on their red dragons, tearing across the skies of Avernus, already looking damaged from a fight elsewhere. The Githyanki that were with the party also ran to their dragons to give chase as quickly as possible. And after chasing it and attacking it, along with various hordes and swarms of imps and devils from Avernus itself, the craft once more bounced out of sight and off to where? Who knows? Except anyone that's played Baldur's Gate 3. Now, the battle was still in full swing on the ground, and our adventurers managed, just to say, to defeat the hideous creatures that had come through from the far realm, and putting several of their group in mortal danger. But they were defeated and sent back from where they came, and in doing so, you glimpsed a look through the portal that they fled through of a hideous sight, and somewhere that you would be very grateful never to see again. Now, wanting somewhere to rest and somewhere to get a container to gather some Imperium blood, you called out to the four winds and to the fireballs and the churning skies of Avernus, "Critter!" And that lovely critter that we see on our screen came bounding across the dunes and ruins of Avernus, pausing and screeching to a halt in front of you all, as once again the rope ladder with its welcoming and cautioning metal sign on the bottom unfurled as it beckoned you up into the sanctuary of Mogren's magnificent... I forget the full name. What's it called? Moving in, I believe. Excuse me.
I believe it. I believe that is right.
If it wasn't called that before, she renamed it while she was away. Okay, so you were climbing up the ladder, I believe, last we met you. We saw you, and you clamber up through the door and once more into the warm, book-filled, recently catalogued and checked by a mysterious librarian, into the book-filled, warm salon of the tavern. Now, as you do so, you see the owner, Mogren, behind the bar, and she looks up and smiles as you come in. Ah, my friends, welcome back. It's good to see you again. But she has to kind of lean to the side to address you, as she was hidden behind a hulking figure at the counter, sitting, drinking. A hulking, coarse-haired, black figure. Its giant shoulders bunched over the bar, and you can't see the head, it's below the muscles of the neck and shoulders, but you see these two giant horns sticking out, one to either side, as they're sitting there throwing back some brew from the bar. Now, let's see if this works. Tell me if this works. It didn't work yesterday. You hear this figure complaining to Mogherin.
Can you believe it? There I was, bodyguard, second in command to Arkan the Cruel, and this bloody ponce of a dragonborn, Evermarsh was his name, he comes down here from the prime material, of all places, and kicks me out of my job!
Now where am I to go?
Can't work for Arkan anymore. I don't want to work for Tiamat. It just reminds me of all the good times. All the killing, all the slaying, all the guarding. It gets my goat.
And I'm going to remember to turn it off today. Last night I used that for the first time, and I left it on for about 5 minutes after I stopped being that character. And chat was like, "Is that supposed to still be on?" It's like, "Oh no, thank you." And hello to the people watching. How you doing?
Right.
So, I take it from your reactions you could hear that.
Yes.
Okay, good. I can't, so I'm not sure if it's working or not. But yeah, I changed the I changed the Discord input. So excellent. So, what would you like to do?
Firemud just laughs to himself.
There we go. It's very genteel.
Firemud's been trying to practice. Blend into these sorts of situations.
All right.
Yes, you're welcome to discuss the recent towering events.
Shall we find our hostess and get our picture?
I think we might need a little more than that.
I meant a vodka.
Oh, well. Well,
Shall we go to the bar?
Yeah, I mean, it's just this one salon, the one small room, so you're right there. It's cool.
Yeah. Can we have something restorative and something that'll knock us out?
Knock you out? Well, are you, after
I mean, sleep. Make us sleepy. Please, no. Please don't knock us out. I mean, make us sleepy. Tarina is so tired.
Be very careful how you word things around here. There are some who would welcome that particular drink.
well, Morgan, I certainly hope that you will welcome some information about the far realms in exchange.
Oh, yes, that would be a fair price indeed.
No, what's it? What's it? Bloody Lathander, I think. Yeah, that's got to be the one.
Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm just pulling up the menu. So yeah, do you remember there was the whiskey you had before.
Yes. Why
Just
not?
the fire whiskey. Yeah.
I'm just let me just I want to give you the full option here. So I'm just getting through this
Give us
PDF.
alcohol, give us
I
drinks,
think
John.
the information we have might get us something nicer than fire whiskey.
Oh, you're gonna go up in the world.
I
Okay.
think we've earned it.
Indeed. Okay, so she comes across, and she brings you a bottle. Let's see here. Yeah, she brings you a bottle of her finest, which is a gnomish red wine. She's like, you remember this is the one. Oh, this is sorry. This wasn't what I explained last time. She comes over and says, yes. She's like, well, in anticipation of some wondrous news, please take this. It is a 1014 DR Ogla Niguin, a gnomish red wine, considered by many to be perfection. It has expansive and vibrant aromatics and a velvety full body texture that complements the sweet tannins running through the bottle. Flavors of currants, cherries, smoky incense, warm spices, notes of leather. This is a remarkable vintage. It's my last bottle on my run from the previous trip to the material plane.
It's great.
Now, Margaret, I'm no sommelier, but that sounds fantastic.
Well then, what are you waiting for? She uncorks it and just savors the whiff as it comes out the bottle and then pours glasses for you all. And it delivers.
Fire, what a fancy goblet hold.
It's a red. Are you not holding it this way? This is how you're supposed to hold a red. Did you not learn this? I'm
You would
from the
know.
lower city.
Am I just a barbarian? I hold it like he would have.
I take a really long swig and then I lean over the table and I go, I look so battle haggard. I'm like, there were octopuses.
Is it an octopi? I don't know.
Yes, it is Fireball.
An intellect.
I'm gonna take Karina on this one with octopuses. Makes sense.
With that grammatical democratic decision, I'm going to give me just a moment, and Borvin is going to take out some parchment and try to like sketch the slards. Because he was kind of indisposed when the ship passed through.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he would remember that.
Fireball will just describe the ship. So
There
like,
we go.
before, so we left the Citadel of Tiamat, and Horvin here started rambling in a language I couldn't understand. And started drawing in his own blood, and then a giant ship appeared. It kind of looked like it had tentacles and was being chased by the Gith Yankee. And shortly thereafter, we were attacked by the Slard, which he is drawing now. But
And-
it seemed they were sort of like opening these holes in reality, and they went to somewhere that looked like the ship went somewhere. It looked like it was the material plane. I'm really not sure.
This is a mind flayer nautiloid. They are the ships they use to travel between the spheres.
Spheres?
Yes. How many have you visited?
What?
Well,
That was very Holden voice.
here we are in Realm. This is Realm space, right? And have you been to, say, I don't know, Earth in grey space?
What?
No?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Ah, you.
I've been to Baldur's Gate. I've been to Avernus.
He's been to Bitopia, and I point to Theo.
She nods. But yeah, you're barely even planeswalkers. Oh. Okay, and never mind. It is a ship, and it sails very far on seas you cannot comprehend.
I would usually say I don't appreciate your condescending tone, but I do not understand, and I drink my wine.
There.
I guess-
Don't try.
Ah,
She's trying to push it. See how far she can go.
yeah, I don't know that Morgan would have seen anything about this.
No.
like, in the
Nope.
or anything. So this is totally new territory.
Very.
There's
probably-
already so much world. I don't want there to be more world.
Tell that to Lincoln's brother.
Yeah.
He's off on one of them.
Always away. Always a good few days contact away.
Actually, that's a bit of a spoiler. I don't think if any of you knew that. That's why Lincoln's attempt at communicating with him took so long.
John, I hate to break your heart, but you've told me that like 3 times in excitement.
It's very, very on brand for me. My wife despairs of it regularly.
Oh my god.
Mieko! She's like, oh.
I understand. Isaiah feels the same way.
But you should see her eyes light up when I tell her something new.
You've done it! Good job!
You know, I don't get that part.
She's
of
like, oh,
Isaiah.
I didn't know that one.
Oh my
Okay.
god, that's adorable.
Anyways, so she's like, you know, she's like dismisses it. She's like, this is exactly what I was worried about. This is what I was telling you about last night when I was talking about the architect. Do you remember?
Yes, I'm familiar
Yes.
with that. Now, we're still trying to copy that owner of the ship. You said it was a mind flare?
Yes, and she looks at the drawing again, and yes, there's a nautiloid. Yeah, the mind flayer ships.
What is this mind flare exactly, and where were the Gith chasing it?
Oh, they are sworn enemies. They try to eradicate each other upon sight. It's all chance, every chance given.
Would I know Mind Flayer?
Yes. Yeah, they've been quite. You know, recently there was a small problem with mind flayers in Waterdeep.
Oh, so much eradication.
There's a lot of evil
Where-
things out there.
These are nightmarish creatures.
Oh yes. They get inside your head, first with their psychic abilities and then with their tentacles. And they pluck your brain out.
Is that what was happening to Horvin? You should have heard him. He was just and then Tarina does exactly that.
Horvin is going to bury his head in his
And
hands.
yeah,
You were.
Magrin-
Your eyes were white.
Magrin winces as well.
You
And
looked
she's
like
like,
a grub.
it sounds like you're attempting to mimic deep speech. That is the language that those of the Far Realm speak.
Oh shit! I speak deep speech.
Really?
What?
Yes, really. Last time you hinted, you were like, I think Josh's other character might have been able to say that, like, understand this, but we didn't get the actual language, and I speak deep speech. I'm serious. I know I do because I brought it up at the beginning. Emma
Okay,
said
so
that's a really
you-
good one to choose.
You mimic exactly what Horvin said then.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, I
And-
speak deep speech.
My other character speaks undercommon, not deep speech.
Ah,
Yes. But no, I was that comment to you, Josh, was for a different reason.
Oh, okay.
But I shall leave it there.
Interesting.
It's like,
Dang it.
well, so you know,
I
that
just actually
sounds
want to
exactly
know
how
what
Horvin
Horvin
it.
said. Because I've never gotten to use that. I picked it because it was weird and I didn't know what I was doing because it was my first character ever. And Emma said, oh, that's a really good one because that's what DMs use when they don't want anyone to understand what the hell's going on.
clock.
Well, I came from the other direction. I was using it because of them being from the Far Realm, but
That's
Right.
fair.
I'm just double checking
But
if that
that's
is
why
the
I
right one.
know.
I'll just. Yes, good old D&D Beyond.
Oh
So-
yeah.
I searched
Oh,
for. Yep, there is deep speech. Yep.
Tarina's like, yeah, we spoke when we were playing in the playground. We spoke deep speech.
All the time. All the time.
You and your sister Lithia.
Sitting at the table, she's just like, wow.
Ah.
So
We're sitting here and I'm like, oh yeah, and then Horvin said, and I just start saying what he said, and everyone's
you're
like,
lucky. You caught me early on in my my GMing days, because if you tried that now, I was like, how do you know deep speech? It's like, give me the backstory, otherwise no, you cannot speak it.
Mwahaha.
Anywho, so yeah, basically, so Horvin said lots of things about the end of times and the undoing of all things, and the Far Realm was going to break through into this one, and everything was going to be turned inside out.
Yes,
General doom thing.
General
So I'm gonna
s-
say,
spoopy stuff. Yeah.
he was going on and on about the unraveling in time and swallowing up and between it. He was saying so much. You were saying so much.
Margarine speaks it too, and so she, when you say it, when you're saying what he said, she's like shaking her head, and she's like, "Oh, it is just as I feared. We're going to need to be very careful. This architect that the captain spoke of, his meddling could be the undoing of everything. Well, there's nothing we can do today. So, more drinks?
More drinks.
God, please.
I'm just picturing me and Margaret across the table from each other, just going, ah, while everyone is like, what?
And Morgan's like, "Ooh, yes, I understand.
Okay, so, you rest up. You can have a short rest.
Thanks.
It is not yet long rest territory.
We'll be staying for a long rest, I think.
You gonna stay until evening?
I don't think we're gonna in any condition.
Okay.
I'm happy.
No, we got handed.
Okay, doke. So yeah, you chill out there, and you get yet another epic dinner from Braun, who, when they first come out, asks you if you've seen this mysterious love of his on her giant red salamander, but alas, not today.
We have seen so many things, and none of them were a giant red salamander.
I've seen small, gray salamander-like things.
he's like,
I saw a
he's like,
giant-
no.
stomach the
But he's
size of
He's not gonna
10
let.
men.
He's not gonna let it like get him down this time. He's like all right, okay. Tomorrow's another day.
We'll find him.
And you ask them
Woke
for.
up.
Woke up. And they bring out that amazing dinner once more, and you ask them, and Margarin, also provides you with a container. It used to be one of Braun's old whey protein containers.
Of course it was. What else would it be?
And you have that ready for when you make your way back to Uldrak's grave. So, anything you would like to do this evening, or are we just going to fast forward till tomorrow?
Continue reading about the metallic variety of dragon.
Mm-hmm. Be my guest.
Yeah, I'm looking for players.
But what? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Looking for stuff about mind flayers.
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
going to a window towards the front of
Mhm.
the animal we're on, and I'm gonna yell nice things about Critter to him. You're a good boy. You're a sweet boy. Just yelling out the window.
And yeah, you get this amazing view, just the infinite plains of Avernus just rolling, just disappearing under Tritter's long stride, and you see. Sometimes you see the river Styx come, like curling through various points, and Critter just like bounds over it. You see a couple of like just epic battles going on between devils and demons as the blood war continues to rage, forever and ever. And Critter just barrels through it, just like squashing a bunch of like demons and devils, like just like doesn't pay any heed. You see, just vast mountains and huge rib cages that look like they went with that dragon skull that was, Tiamat's lair. Just all these incredible things rolling by forever and ever. A couple of very sinister-looking citadels perched up on the high peaks of mountains. You thought you glimpsed Elturel off in the distance at one point, but you can't be sure. And yes. Firemore and Horving, could you give me investigation checks, please?
Sure.
Just to see how well you root through these
The
books.
answer's probably not going to be very well.
We'll see.
15. No,
Yeah,
all right.
not bad at all. There we go. How'd you go, Horvin?
A 13.
Sorry, just like Horvin.
Outread by
I was outread
outread
by
by
the pit fighter.
I mean,
great.
to be fair, I was at like 1 HP. So Horvin is like nodding.
Yeah, just almost passing out. Okay, you are, yes, spending the time to read through some of these books, and you do find out some things that I shall share with you later.
Okay.
And then finally, you all make your way to your individual rooms and bed down for the night. That giant minotaur at the bar stumbles off and out, and Critter screeches to a halt once more briefly as he clambers down and disappears at one point. And
Everyone's bed flips over as this.
just roll across. And yes, you will head off for a nice evening's sleep. Tarina.
Yeah, no.
Here
no.
we go. Here we go.
I took a second to register. You're like, yeah, oh, wait, hang on.
Yeah, no. No, thank you.
The sleep takes you.
大丈夫です。
結構です。夢見なくていいです。No, as sleep takes you, and you drift happily into the soft covers, and Lulu's with you again,
Uh-huh.
and darkness takes you as sleep washes in. Then you find yourself dreaming. And as you start to dream, you open your eyes to vast tree trunks, leaves overhead, a small animal trail winding through the underbrush, much like that tunnel in Totoro. Tareen
And
just
Smiler
scuttling
comes in
through.
and cuts off my head.
And as you're running down this tunnel of undergrowth and trees, arching overhead, once again, you suddenly find yourself emerging on that overlook with the whole of Humblewood stretched out before you. And erupting from the forest in the distance is the truly monstrous, gigantic tree that is the Alder Heart. And as you screech to a stop, before you head over, plummet over the edge, just towards the canopy below, you take in the scene that you've never seen in real life, but have visited once before in this dream. And you hear a voice.
Yes, I do.
Terry, how you doing?
I'm like, because I hate that. I hate the Terry. I'm alive.
That's all we can reach for, eh? Each day as it comes. See what the world brings us.
It brings so much. Can I stay here for a while?
For a while, but there's no running away from reality, girl. That's not the Terry I know. Did you enjoy my present from last time?
Yes, I've shot off a few fireballs, appropriately placed fireballs.
As I say, be careful with that stuff around here. It's been a dry summer.
No, we wouldn't want you going up like so much tinder.
I'd be fine, but I worry about all my little dudes and dudettes down here. Just like it's like you get the sense that the older heart is gesturing to the canopy below him, but he doesn't like a bow swings across and like a thousand humble folk plummet to their death. As the houses collapse off the branches. No, he doesn't. It doesn't move. But...
Can you feel them?
Of course.
Mites?
That like there's that forest that's like the largest living organism on the planet Earth, right? It's a forest. It's actually one living organism. Like all the trees are connected underground. It's like like how bamboo does it goes shoots go out horizontally and then
Like
new
on
bamboo comes
Avatar?
up. I'm not sure, but there is a forest. I forget what kind of tree it is, but there is a forest where all the trees are connected underground. And it's like the single largest living thing.
Okay.
And I think Humblewood's like that. So yeah, these are all the older hearts, dudes and dudettes.
I get a horrified look on my face and I'm like, is it like mites?
No. We're cool. We're all cool.
I can't keep a straight face.
It's good to see you happy, Terry. It's good to see you happy.
No, Stephanie can't. I'm trying. Terry is just like,
You don't think the older heart can't see Stephanie too? I see you, Steph. I see you, Steph.
Oh, it's too real. It's too real. Put up the wall. Put up the fourth wall. So why am I here now? What?
Well,
What else?
you see, that staff of yours, that sister of yours, she made it from the older heart. It's one of the seeds of the older heart itself. So, I know what's going on. I see what you see. I go where you go in a kind of sense of the word. And I'm sad, Terry. I'm a little sad. when you went to see that nasty old hag, there was all those poor dryads, torn from their home, corrupted by the hag's poison.
That was terribly sad.
It was a horrible thing to see, Terry. A horrible thing to see. Now, I don't want to rush you or anything, but if you get the chance, you go and give that hag what's hers. You set those dryads free so that they can be released. And then next spring comes round, they'll be right as rain.
I pull out a list, a like mental list that Stephanie, that's me, that Tarina keeps in her head because she has a. You've messed me up, John. Because she's in her dreams, so she has the mental list.
As every
available.
GM dreams of doing.
I pull out my mental list that I physically have because I'm in my own head.
Yep, absolutely.
And I write it on the bottom of this like long. I'm like going through. Free dryad.
I see you're a busy hedge, Terry. You're a busy hedge.
There's so much to keep track of.
No, I know.
There's too many deals. There's too many.
You should try seeing the whole Humblewood in an instant.
No,
It's a
thank
trip.
you.
It's a trip, Terry.
Yes, those dryads should be. Did you see I freed a unicorn? I didn't free the unicorn, did I? I
Yes, you
helped
did.
free a unicorn.
Yes, you did. If you hadn't.
Did I? Was that me? That was so long ago. Was it me?
You did. I saw you. Yeah, like I say, yeah, through the staff. And you grew that tree of yours that Lithia made for you. You went right up there. And you assured the beautiful moon color that all was going to be well.
And just at the name.
Beautiful name, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
fictional.
So, that was a great deed. And don't worry, don't think of it like as a drop in the ocean. If there were no drops in the ocean, there'd be no ocean, Terry. There'd be no ocean. So every little piece of good you do down there sets a little piece of Avernus right.
Thanks, Aldi.
No problem, Terry. No problem. And the sun sets, which you just take a moment to enjoy because you never see it in Avernus. And the sun
Yep.
sets over the Humblewood, and as the silhouette of the older heart blends in with the night sky as the final traces of orange disappear over the horizon, you go back to sleep.
Tarina's heart like truly aches for, like, she's never been to Humblewood and she loves the desert, but her heart truly aches for something natural and more like worldly, material, plainly.
Yeah.
So she's so sad when it all goes to black before she go back to sleep, and then she doesn't feel sad.
Okay. Thank you. Orphan.
Oh boy.
All of that newfound knowledge, little tidbits and facts, and stories and tales are dancing around your mind as you fall asleep. And you hear the voice once more. That voice that you heard before, that has guided you to these fascinating tomes and guided you true every time so far.
Very true.
And the voice rings out in your mind. And I've got it working, so I'm going to make use of it. Is it clear enough? You can make out what I'm saying, Michael, right?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
some of them are a bit. They kind of gets tricky to hear. If it's tricky in chat, someone give me a shout.
Well, just that was an interesting read.
Read.
Now, I'm worried. Am I going to be able to offer you anything? Surrounded by so many books.
Oh, don't doubt yourself. I'm sure there's something.
This got real sexual.
Well,
Sorry.
there is a book. Tucked away. Near forgotten. In another library such as this, if not even more fantastic.
Oh,
I would suggest finding your way to the Tower of Rome.
I had a feeling.
I mentioned it before. I remember mentioning it. The Tower of Rome. And time your visit wisely, for it is not always in Avernus. It travels the plains freely at the whims of its master. A master I think you're familiar with.
I'm not sure.
And you remember before? Remember the Tower of is sometimes it goes to Waterdeep. Remember I had you and Emma check.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's Mordenkainen's
Yes.
Tower.
That tower. When it visits Avernus, is accessible. And I think its residents will give you access, at least to the interior, if not to the library. Because, you see, they have a vested interest. And I know you're familiar with the owner of the tower. But did you know you met them?
Don't remember. And
Yes. They did not look themselves as you would have heard them described.
I think I understand.
In Baldur's Gate, there was a guard captain that drew your band of friends together.
Ah,
That was no guard captain. That was that meddling fool, sending you down here to cause all kinds of mischief. Little
he was
did he
God,
know
right?
that was the name he was using.
Right.
Now, make your way to his tower. See what information he has for you, and what biblical information you can take for yourself. I will show you the way. You can't miss it. You
That
We are looking for a tome that will add to your library, add to your collection's power. The next tome is Help, I'm a Book.
No.
The voice is gone. Oi, Rothwin. See you lounging back there. Front and center.
Two.
The darkness of your sleep fades, but you don't see a sky above. You see the opposite side of Bitopia as you find yourself once more in that fantastical landscape, land both beneath you and far, far above you, as the two aspects of the plane face each other upside down. Do you remember your journey last time with Adafor Tan flying through? Do you remember meeting him again later on the material plane, taking delivery of that strange artifact he had brought from Icewind Dale and delivered down to Candle Keep? But he's not there to greet you, scare you, and dance the Macarena with you this time. Instead, you find yourself rising up into the air, up towards the opposite side, up towards the flip points where you know the gravity will switch round and take you up to the other landmass above. But as you rise up, there's a trumpeting sound, and you find yourself surrounded by Holophants, just like Lulu, but in their full size,
Oh.
Jelly!
as the giant winged mammoths with their golden fur swoop and trumpet around you, playful as before, although careful not to crush you into complete nothingness. One of them wraps its trunk around you and scoops you onto its back. They're like, "Welcome back, Captain."
Oh yes, good to see you all again.
Have you had fair seas?
Indeed, I've been traveling very far with some old friends.
You didn't see the oceans of Bitopia last time, did you? Come on, everyone! And they just, like, in formation, they just swoosh. You go flying across the vast valleys and forests and the mountainsides of Bitopia until the mountains give way into a vast churning ocean with little islands dotted around here and there. And as you're flying, they say, "Your friends are lucky to have you back, but be careful."
Well, I've been doing my best to be careful, because we are in Avernus. Is there something more I should be aware of?
Just what you heard before. The Far Realm's not so far. All sorts of nasties are climbing through, causing all sorts of trouble. Even up here.
So you've had problems with the Far Realm and Nelturel here?
Yes. And the mammoth looks around at their friends. But we had a right good time tearing that nautiloid to pieces.
You destroyed one of those nautiloid ships?
Indeed.
Interesting.
We are a fun-loving, peaceful lot. Until we aren't. Yeah.
I'm glad I've mainly seen the fun-loving side.
You're fine, you're fine. And they playfully kind of like grab you with the trunk and they throw you across onto the back of one of the others. You're like, ah! It's like they like play catch with you for a little bit. And yes. They say, send us a message, would you?
Well, of course. And what might that be?
Just a moment. And they just go into a steep dive. And they just go flying down. And you just like grab onto the fur of their shoulders, like holding on for dear life. And they're going towards this one island in this churning ocean with a huge grove of trees on the middle of it. And they land outside the forest and help you down onto the soft, grassy ground. And you see, and they point kind of with their trunks, you see a path winding through the trees. Go on then.
Well, alright then.
Bye.
And
Shoo, they fly up.
Wait! You didn't... Alright then. And so I continue walking along this path.
And you make your way, and just a short distance into the trees, it opens up into a clearing. And there's a very elegant gazebo in the center of this glade, bathed in sunlight. As all of Vitopia is, yeah, except when the ferocious storms come through. You know, even with the land above, sunlight is still lighting this whole scene all the time. And the sunlight spills through the gap in the trees above and lights this whole glade. And you see a figure. Slim, tall, sitting facing the other way inside the gazebo, wings furled behind them. And as you come out of the trees into the clearing, they seem to become aware, and they put down a book they were reading and stand. It's Tidra, Lincoln's mother. And she steps slightly down, a large smile spreading across her face. Theo, welcome back.
Well, Tidra, it's good to see you here in Elturel. I'm glad you're here safe.
It's thanks to you and Lincoln.
Well, what might be the reason for this meeting? Why did the Hollyfoots just drop me off here?
I wanted you to send a message to Lincoln. I can't bring him here like I can bring you, because you've been here before. You have this connection with Vitopia. Please, tell him. Oh, no! Don't you dare! Don't
like
do
us
that! Don't do that!
in the world.
I'm not. Continue, Tidra.
Theo's ethereal image flickers, and she just like. And again, you hear that deep speech. No. No. Welcome back. No. You hear. Yes, she says. Please tell Lincoln that he will have to confront his father. And please tell him that although I can't go back to Avernus, I will be watching over him. Please don't let him think like his brother, like Tyrannax thinks. I haven't forgotten him. I haven't forgotten either of them, and I never will. And I never did when I was able.
I'm sure Lincoln is aware of all what you're worried about, but I'll be sure to remind him so he doesn't forget.
Please do. Travel safe.
It was good to see you again, Tidra.
You too, Captain. And she turns and walks back to the gazebo as the scene kind of darkens. You fall asleep. Oh.
I like how you tried to keep a straight face.
You find yourself once more in front of that giant dragon skull. And there's no visit from Bernie this time, as you hear Tiamat's voice boom out of the skull. You are doing well. But you have more to prove. Prove your worth. Take your place at my side.
What must I do?
The test is not one that can be foreknown. I shall not give you the luxury of preparation. But do well, and when Arkan finds the way that he surely shall to release me back into the world, you will be there. Or you'll be dead.
I'll be there.
The scene fades as acrid smoke billows up from the volcanic fissures around you. Sleep takes you once more. So, good morning, everyone.
Yep. As you were saying, you'll be there or you'll be. Me and Colby were both like, square.
Square. I'm happy to say that in the moment I did not think of it, but I knew exactly where you're going. Okay.
It was the dramatic pause for sure.
And I decided just to mess up my throat for that one by myself. I can't use that same voice for every scary thing. Well, it's tempting.
Right.
How does it sound? Like I say, I can't hear it. Is this one
Pretty
okay?
good.
Because it's a different one to yesterday. Because because I've only got the free one, and it just gives you different ones every day.
It's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
The only issue is when you hit the peak of your vocal range, it overdoes it
Oh, okay.
a little bit.
I'll take it easy. I mean,
My
I don't.
favorite John voice is definitely the "It's all about to kick off."
Evan Marsh's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too. It was in that new video that went up today, but it was like the welcome. It was that welcome to the big leagues one when you were doing the natural 20s, but it was a bit quiet in the new one. Anywho, you wake up,
Long rest.
have yourselves a long rest, have yourselves an epic breakfast.
Yes.
Thank you, Braun.
Hoorah.
Mason was getting his like
It's going to full on hoorah now.
holly. Sorry.
Okay.
When Mason was getting his holly fonts flying like ocean through the woods, like dream sequence, I'm like, Mason always gets like the acid trips. And then I remember I was talking to a tree, so I was like, never mind.
Yes. Me too. Okay. So, you all wake up. Critter is convinced to hold still for a brief moment as you and your war machines are lowered back down to the plains of Avernus.
I pat him as we climb down the ladder. He's a good boy. I know he can't hear me because I'm on his side, but I'm like, he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
I think when you hit a certain level of druid, you'll be able to talk to him. I won't tell you what level. You have to find out. You just have to come back regularly. Okay. So, where to? It's...
Well, we have our whey protein.
Mhm.
There.
Ready to go.
Might as well check that off the list.
Yeah, I'm sure Tiamat's blood is a heavy burden to bear. Let's go get the other blood that will be heavier because it's a gallon, but it will be less heavier in burden.
I guess.
Sure. By the way, one thing I wanted to say after the combat last week. Do you remember what soul coins can do?
Ah, yeah. That's fair.
Because there were people that were out of the fight for quite a long time, and people worrying about the healers being down. Remember, a fully discharged soul coin can bring someone back, as you did with Lincoln.
We all dropped the ball.
Anyhow, just wanted to mention that one. You clamber down onto your war machines, take up your usual positions. The back of the tour bus is a little more crammed with now with Horvin, Trina, and Theo. Although, Theo, when these humblefoot go back to not existing anymore, you'll have more space. It's all good. And you head off towards Uldrek's grave. Now, Horvin,
Yes.
give me 2d8, please.
Certainly. Six and a 7.
Okay. Yet again, despite Avernus trying to trick you and cloud your judgment and sense of direction, you manage to find your way, barreling through the wastes back towards Uldrek's grave. Now, Tarina.
Yes. Yes, no.
You're not asleep now. Come on, it's all good.
Okay, alright. That makes it more dangerous when you say my name.
Can you... Sorry, just a moment, please. Can you roll me a d20, please?
Yes, I can. I got a 16.
Okay, excellent. Theo Rothwin, can you give us a D100, please?
$96.
Ooh, okay. As you're barreling through the wastes, find what we're looking for here. As you're barreling through the wastes, you see a large outcropping of blood red stone. And you can see figures on top of this flat, rocky surface. And as you get closer and you're driving by, you see that it is a trio of night hags. They seem to be working on something on this table. Cackling to themselves. They see you driving towards them. They like take off their big, pointy hats, and they're kind of waving them. They're like beckoning you over. It is not the coven that resides here in Avernus. Must be a visiting group of night hags. Do you drive on by, or are you going to pay a visit?
I mean, my curiosity has peaked a little.
I mean, do we all see this?
Yeah, I mean, Fireball usually ride on the outside, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, Theo, with all due respect, you haven't been here for most of the night hag bullshit. They're miserable creatures. The less I have to interact with them, the better.
Fireball, I feel as though you don't want to interact with anyone, though, sometimes. Even me!
Oh, I love interacting with you.
Theo starts crying.
You don't talk to me like we used to.
Been back for less than 24 hours. I don't know what you want.
But
Karina is
You're
now
right.
shipping Theo and Fireman.
I'm no longer experienced in what to expect and what not to expect here in Avernus, so I will take your word for it.
I'm inside and I'm not driving, so I assume I don't see these night hags.
I am driving,
You are.
Accurate.
and I have to have seen the night hags. And my hands are on the wheel. I'm making an executive decision.
Two.
We're gonna go see these hags.
God damn it.
I'll hit
Splendid.
hit the side. Fucking stop!
You guys are just like,
God damn it.
Yes. Theo 1, Fireball 0, yes!
So-
Firemont pushes Theo off the...
Just a strength check, please. No. No. Yeah. You. So yeah, Horvin, you turn and Lincoln's just following behind, off to the side, so they don't get constant spray of detritus coming towards them.
Of
But
course.
yeah, you swerve off and pull up where the top part of this rock meets the rise of the dune behind it, and they've seen you stop and they've seen you coming. They've gone back to whatever they were working on, just waiting for you to come over. So you're gonna walk over?
As soon as they get our attention, they pretend they don't know us. Hey!
Be on
I'm
brand.
gonna get out of the tour bus and start walking over
Okay,
by myself if it has to be.
everyone.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Link- Lincoln goes with you.
It was a fucking terrible idea.
Okay.
Goes with them.
I'm curious about these hags over here. I'm gonna go with Orbit.
Okay,
And
so
we
you start
all
walking
band walk.
over.
Album cover walk.
Album cover walk. Yep. A meteor streaks through the sky behind you. Actually no, but that badass skull is in the sky behind you.
Oh, Jesus.
And one of the hags turns, and you can see she has Horvin, what I think you've probably read about that you know to be called a hag eye, which is a seeing device that they can use. But usually hags, create one of these and they give it to spies, or they use it to look and and spy on things and keep an eye on things while they're doing rituals and the like. Michael and his Lincoln's brother and those lot in their first ever adventure failed to see the crow up in the rigging of a shipwreck that had the hag eye watching what they were doing. Anyway, as you approach, one hag turns and she has the hag eye in one of the sockets, but the other is empty, and her two sisters both have empty sockets as well. And the one using the hag eye turns. Ah, welcome. Would you care for a puppet?
I'm sorry, a what?
A puppet, my dear. We are making puppets. And you turn and you can see that they're furiously sewing and putting things together, and they're making these little kind of ragdoll looking things.
Does Tarina have knowledge of these?
No.
Okay. I personally do, so I got hyped for a second.
You personally do?
Well, what they
It's quite
like
alarming.
in like voodoo kind of deal, what
Yeah.
puppets. I assumed it was similar, but
Yes. You have one in Barovia too, you just never used it. But that's
it's Michael's sister. That would be terrible, or rather,
No, it's
Then
it's what got Colby's character in Death House. That's why he was suddenly injured and fell down for no reason.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Made possible because you very nicely gave the Durst children feathers from your body.
Yes.
We're so kind.
Didn't you? Lovely.
We're
lovely.
so kind and stupid.
It's because I didn't show you the art. That's why.
Yeah, that's
Now.
exactly why.
Yeah. So upon first glance, they just appear to be like simple burlap kind of dolls in the rough shape of humanoids. But the hag continues her sales pitch. For the low cost of a single soul coin, and the supplying of an item, a personal item, a lock of hair, a locket, anything at all, we can put them in the puppets, and from afar you can deal them grievous harm. So, how many can I put you down for?
That's interesting. There has to be some way that we can use this to our advantage.
Do we don't have any personal items other than ours. See? I look in my items.
You could probably get Lithia if you felt the urge to. I don't think you ought to do your own sister.
No, that's
No,
mean.
preferably not.
No, I didn't think so. Do you have anything?
Can we purchase and then just put something like put it in ourselves, or the hags have to put it in?
Oh no, dear, no. It has to be placed in when the magic is infused.
Right.
Can we go?
Everyone, look at your stuff.
The hag leans over to you, Horvin, and she's like, if you can snag one of his scales, I'll get one of you.
We have. I look at Firemaw like completely gobsmacked and just be like,
The witch is, I was joking.
we have. No. We have Tiamat's blood.
I mean, yeah, but you implying we put Tiamat's blood into one of these things? That's sad. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I appreciate the revelation. It's a good thought.
Tarina wouldn't push it, but Stephanie really wants this to happen for whatever chaos ensues afterwards.
They wouldn't need the whole thing.
Sounds like a terrible idea. Firemo will turn around and start walking towards the.
Well, now hold.
I don't think Tiamat would like. It sounds fun though. But I don't think Tiamat would like that.
Would sweat work?
Whose sweat have you been
Yeah.
collecting, dearie?
You nasty.
Well, no, not me, but the band of the reliquary. It's been worn around Arkan's neck for some time. I imagine something of him must have collected on it.
Very true.
We all look at Firemaw.
Would you deem that?
He's halfway to the tour bus.
Hold on just a second. And Orvin is going to chase down Firemaw. Firemaw, now hold on. Do you still intend to fight Arkan? Or would you do it if you had an advantage?
Probably not. Seems like a terrible idea.
Fair enough.
Okay, these are some good ideas. Who else? I'm not willing to give up on this yet. We drove all the way over here to these hags. Who else's stuff do we have?
The hags are like,
Honestly, I was just gonna buy one of these dolls for my son. I thought he just liked the way they look, but now that I know it. Now that I
Theo,
know. What?
put some of your beard hair in there to remind him of you.
Oh.
Daddy!
And then the day becomes a teenager. Ooh.
I mean, we've got. Do you guys want to put, the giant bottle of whey protein in there? I mean, like, we don't have anybody's stuff. The night hags, we can't trust them. I'm going back to the car.
I'm going.
The hag looks disappointed, Horvin, but she's like, hey, we're here for a while. We're going to collect a nice stash of soul coins before we leave. So maybe you can drive by one time. If you need to collect something.
That's very how should I say, very professional of you. I appreciate the offer, and we may just take you up on it. However, we do have a pressing engagement, so we'll have to come back later.
We'll be waiting. And one of the ones is like, pass me the eye, I want to look at his butt as he leaves.
Did you bulk up?
Just a little too loud. Now, as you're leaving, A spined devil comes flapping in. Doesn't really pay you too much heed. And they look and they're like, ah! Here you are, as promised. This should get you up a rank. The spine devil's like, and flies off with this doll that they were making for him.
Horrible.
It's like, I was trying to think. You don't have anything of Oxrians, do you?
Nope.
No, not that. Unless
No.
Lincoln has something secretly.
I had to get the journal.
Yeah, I can't collect anything from him from banishing him for a little bit.
No, I think so.
To have Tiamat at our feet, though.
That's not how it would go down.
I don't think
That's not how it would go down at all.
God.
She would pass the whiz save, then kill us.
That's fine.
If she had to roll at all.
Right.
He'd use the doll to kill us. Like, she's...
Yeah.
Hey,
How dare you!
She would stuff the pulp that was our bodies into the doll.
No. There's 5 of you. That's a snack for each head.
There you go.
Chomp. Okay, so you make your way back,
everyone.
and the hags go back to being industrious and making their dolls, their little puppets. Are they called puppets in voodoo too?
It's a kind of voodoo.
Yeah, I think they're just called dolls. I don't know.
There's
This
it,
voodoo dolls.
puppet is definitely attached to some kind of like, be it hoodoo or voodoo,
Okay.
Yeah.
something like that. Puppet is used because that's the only. I don't know it in any other context other than like black magic kind of deal.
Okay.
Which those things aren't always black magic, but
Yeah, exactly. I've got friends in NOLA. I'll have to ask them. Now, you make your way back to the vehicles and carry on your way. Before long, you see that giant helmet and sword sticking up out of the plane of hell.
yes.
Swear to God, if we have to go fucking talk night hags.
I'll do that myself next time. Let's go make this guy a giant again.
So diplomatic.
Sorry, Crystal, bye-bye. Let us change the map here a bit. You have found your way all the way down here. Zoom in again. Sorry if that causes any motion sickness.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, you are down towards the bottom of the map there, down at Uldrich's grave once more. Now, where is... Bear with me just a moment.
Intro music.
Yep, that's how it sounds like. One of the other tracks I was thinking of that for that video today, there was like a clown music one. Here we go. So,
I liked plucky banjo music during Theo's dream sequence.
all of you had the same music, and it's Nepalese folk music. But
Dang.
Oh.
anyhow, it's the background for Margarine's place. Okay, so you find yourself approaching, and as the sound of your war machines barreling across the wastes of Avernus is heard, you see, once more, a little spined devil come fluttering out from the helmet. Not the one you saw at the Hags. And you come to a halt, disembark, and make your way up the last little bit.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah,
So we.
you're back! I knew you would be back. I told you they'd be back. Shut up. I was just being realistic. He's still
We're
talking to
back.
himself. And? Do you have it?
I have it here.
Oh, at last. No more sitting around for millennia. They flutter up into the sky and they put their little spindly arms up. Father! I'm coming! Give it here. Come on.
Firemont takes his glaive. You said you needed to see Tiamat's blood spilled on the plains of Avernus.
I have to do it. I have to do it. Give it to me.
You have to do it?
Yes.
That's not what the deal was. God damn it. Alright.
What do you want?
Spill it on the glaive. It'll drip
First.
onto the floor.
Yes, that's fine. It just has to touch the sands of Avernus.
Spill it on the glaive then.
Okay. Present the blade. Oh. I waited for this moment for so long. So long. Yeah, it was bloody hell. Only you to talk to all the time. Shut up! Shut up! He goes. They reverently unscrew the reliquary and upend it over your downward-facing blade. There's a slight hiss and a little whiff of chromatic. That's not what I'm looking for. No, that's right. Yeah, of the chromatic smoke. The 5 colors blended together. And a slow trickle as this quite viscous blood makes its way slowly down the blade. And then drip, drip, drip onto the ground. And Uldrek looks expectantly at their arms down at their body. Yes. Here it comes. Here it comes. And there is a rush and a strange kind of distortion of the senses as this tiny spined devil just balloons into this huge Empyrean. Beep. Hello.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
we're all on roll 20 waiting. What? That is literally the vegetable Jolly Green Giant from the but gray.
Yes. So this huge Imperium just balloons out of this spine devil. He's like, yes, yes, I can do my father's will once more. Thank you. Thank all of you. And they kind of Thor hammer up into the sky. Do a loop. Come back down. Oh yeah.
It's like, no,
Firemont.
Sorry, I got excited.
not another
Is-
vampire disintegrating situation.
Hey, at least he reformed.
He did reform. You guys are watching the newly created giant, but if you do take a moment to look at Firemaw, he has, in fact, gone and cut his own hand and let himself bleed onto the glaive as well, letting his own blood intermingle. In sort of a personally reverent moment, he speaks to himself in Draconic as the blood then drips onto the rest of the blood trickles onto the plane.
Let's make
Firemon, do you have something on your mind?
Just doing what I have to do.
You have to. What's all the blood work needed for?
You have to bleed?
We all have our rituals, Theo.
We've all had to do things down here, Theo.
We've all had to do things down in Avernus. We've all had to do things down in Avernus. It's just like.
I look at the ground and sigh as Firemaw says that.
It's okay.
We've all had to-
I've heard it stays in Avernus.
We've all had to do things down here in Avernus. Make deals and
Tarina.
Yeah, I look up at Firemaw.
give our allegiances to stay alive. The glaive I use is a symbol of what I've done. I simply do not wish to anger my patron. So I spilled my own blood. It's penance.
Fair enough.
Firemore, in the back of your
Okay.
mind, just in your mind, not audible to the others, you hear that same voice that spoke to you in your dreams. A worthy penance. Offer me more. Firemore. Offer me everything. That means Aldrich thuds into the sand beside you again. It's like, oh, feels so good. He scoops the helmet and plumps it on his head, pulls the giant sword out. So,
Ah, right.
and he just like,
I'm a
without,
crumb of blood, please.
without batting an eyelid, just a big slash across and just like.
We all get drenched in
Yes,
blood.
yes, yes, goes down. It does fill the container, but it does go all over you as well, Hori.
Thank you.
And then he's just like puts his hand over it, wipes it, and it's clean, mended, healed. He's like,
My God.
What will you do now, Albrecht?
I will return to my father to find how I can redeem myself. You
Well-
are all truly mighty warriors to have acquired this blood. If you come across those kin of mine, the fire giants enslaved, if you can free them, my father may bestow a boon upon you.
That would be quite difficult, but We'll see. We know where they are. Well.
Well, I must return to search her. And he just slashes his sword through the air, and a rift similar to the one to the far realm that you saw opens. He steps boldly through, and it closes behind him.
Well, I guess we have a djinn to go see.
Sorry, I looked it up. Sorry, I didn't know last time. It's a Dao.
I guess we have a Dao to go see.
We do. To the Demon Zapper.
Structure formerly known as the Steam Zap.
Accurate.
Yes, the ruins, formerly known as. Now, Lulu comes flying down. Firemob.
Lulu?
This is a very powerful elixir we have here. Maybe we're not so hasty about how we use it.
What do you mean?
Think. Why does the Tao want it?
I see.
What was the Tao going to do with it?
Break her own contract.
With?
Blood of a Titan.
Contract with who?
The big boss.
Of Avernus. My... You see a kind of set to her jaw that you've never seen before. My old friends. Are you not also under contract with her?
That's correct. And I have someone I would like to free from a contract as well.
Altis and I spent a lot of time talking while you were ignoring us. NPC Brothers for life. I would like to see him free too.
Do you have any idea how we would free ourselves and Ultis from this? I understand it's with Titan blood, but how? How do we do it?
I believe in the time I spent at Fort Knucklebone and the Wandering Emporium, I saw a thing or two. And I've remembered a thing or two. Do you know why my memory's so sketchy?
Is it a contract?
No. That bastard Mahadi splashed me with Styx water. He messed up my mind. He made me forget. He made me lead all of you to the wrong place. Got Lincoln killed. However, temporarily.
Guy's got a cool cousin, but I don't like Mahadi. So you think Mahadi knows what to do?
No, I think I saw contracts being voided. I was there for a while. I was with Mad Maggie for a while. If you have the means, if you have something strong enough, the connection between you and the contract was forged by your own hand, was it not? And by that same hand, it can be severed. Think of it like it's like a solvent. Dissolves the contract, dissolves the bond between you and the contract.
And we need to rescue Ultist.
ADH, how you doing, man? Yes! Douse your hands. Sorry, I almost went too evil on the voice there. Chill.
This is still Lulu.
Still Lulu.
She's remembered a lot.
Douse your hands. The one that signed the contract. In the solvent. The bonds will be broken. And I think it will take less for beings such as you than it would for the Tao. This same amount of blood might do the trick.
How can we save Ultist? He's stuck in the tower. He's stuck in the machine.
If the contract is broken, you will be available for rescue.
I have a question. Because I believe that Tarina didn't hear any of the original stuff with the Tao. She just knows we need the blood to break the Tao's contract, but not who it's with. And I can't hear any of this now, right?
No, she's talking to all of you. She's addressing
okay.
Fire Mob, but you're all there.
Well, if a simple dousing of the blood is all that's necessary, then I think.
Oh yeah, we're all covered.
Well,
The deal.
Everyone bring out Corbin's feathers.
He turned. Firema turns to specifically to Tarina. I'd made a deal with the Tao. I don't think I told you.
Well, I've been listening. The Tao had a contract with the big boss? With
Yes.
lower management?
Upper management. However, you should know that I made a deal with the Tao. I didn't sign anything. However,
I was off buzzing around because Lincoln got angry with me. What did you agree?
should the Tao be freed, they have the ability to teleport to another plane. And they have the ability to take those willing with them.
I've seen things like that happen. Zariel and I used to travel between planes all the time. It's fairly limited.
Yes.
Wasn't it 8? Corbin doesn't. I don't think Corbin
Yes.
would know, but
It was 8, yes. I made a deal to take 8 people.
We are on a mission to return the entirety of Elturel to the surface. Not just 8
How much-
people.
How much blood does the Tao need?
A gallon.
Why didn't we get 2 whey protein containers?
Lulu flutters around. She's like circling around you as you're standing talking. She flutters around you and she's like, what if we forget to go back to the demon sapphire?
We could do that.
I would much rather save Altus. We can't get him out while he's still part of the contract.
That's true. I was planning to find a way to get him out of the contract and have him teleported out.
Here it is!
But I had also planned on taking your sister. I had also planned taking his girlfriend down. Motions at Lincoln.
Go.
I don't think Rhea would like being taken out of here, away from that floor.
Yeah, Lincoln says, yeah, I don't see her abandoning Elturel.
Does Theo know all that's at stake here? Like what? You're not all caught up, I don't think. This is an aside.
Oh, please, you can do it in character, it's fine.
Okay. Theo. Tarina's like having a real internal struggle because the prospect of just getting out of a deal so easily, especially with the big bad, is like, whoa. Theo, these are life-altering deals everyone's made to protect all of these people that Firemaw's talking about getting out of here. I don't know what to do.
If we can get Elturel out, they'll all get to leave. If they survive that long. There's no telling. A devil army could march up to Elturel and attack it again. A demon army could appear and just destroy it overnight.
You mentioned the life-threatening contracts. I mean, didn't Lulu say? I mean, with this blood, you can free yourself from the contract.
We can free ourselves, but that means that our friends have to wait. And I don't know how much time they have.
Friends being... How many people did you say, Horvin?
It's 8. Firema. Colby remembers. Horvin does not.
No.
Correct.
Horvin was not present for the deal.
How many people
It's
did you
8.
say Firemaw?
Yes, to get however many people out of here instantly, but leave the rest behind. No.
Tarina having like a sliver of hope, like looks at Firemaw and says in a very small voice, like, I don't want to stay down here.
We'll find another way to get them home.
Lulu zips by. I think we're on the path to save all of them, Serena. Your sister, Rhea, all of them. Altus too. And she looks over at Lincoln. And I've started thinking, Lincoln, maybe you're right. maybe there are some people down here that don't. This is like looks really hard for her to say. Maybe there are some people down here who don't deserve saving. Or are too far gone. I don't know.
What are the consequences? I'm like, Tarina's picturing like the wrath of the big bad at having broken her contract or dissolved it.
Lulu's.
Didn't give up all that to have someone else taken away.
I think, unless there's a specific reason for her to check in, just think how many contracts she must have. She's not aware of all of them all the time. She's not a god. She used to work for them.
It's not Zariel I'm worried about.
What do you mean?
Yes.
I didn't make a deal with Zariel.
Yes, and we thought we'd lost you.
Right. I made a deal with the big bad.
With the big bad.
Capital
I had-
T?
Not capital T. I see. Capital A.
Capital A.
Yeah.
Lulu knows.
I made 2 deals. The first to get me here, and the second to keep him here. And I point to Lincoln.
Lincoln like looks shocked. What? Trina!
I said I made the deal. I just didn't mention who with. That's a big power to renege on.
Lulu's shaking. She's like, no. I can say any power that we might have to break Zariel's deal will not do the same for you, Tarina. That is
Instantly
not-
heartbroken.
That is not so likely undone. Do you realize what you've done?
I realized very heavily what I've. And Trina's like really mad at herself for even saying anything or even thinking that that's what was being talked about to begin with, because she didn't want to let that out.
Lincoln's like looking very like strangely at you as well.
I just didn't want anyone to worry about. Well, it's out now. I don't know.
Lincoln comes over. Kneels down. To be at the same height. Takes your hands. I know what you hoped. But what's to say I'm ever leaving this place? Look who my father is. At least half of me's meant to be here. And got a horrible feeling. He led us both on.
I made a deal before any of that happened. I made a deal for myself. I just shortened my... And she doesn't finish, she sighs. I didn't make a new deal, I just changed the conditions of my original one. It wasn't...
Well. And Lulu comes buzzing in. Slaps you on the back, Firemour, with her trunk. Then you'll just have to make sure nothing takes Tarina from us. And he can't cash in.
A Firemaw walks over to Tarina, puts his hand on Tarina's shoulder, and very carefully, slouches over,
The people watching, she's ahead, the spiky.
and slouches over and just says very quietly, "I'm not leaving here until you do." And taps her on the shoulder and gets back up. So, now we have to decide what to do.
Tarina, like I said, I came back down in here to Eltrail to help you all save everyone. Everyone, including yourselves, for being stuck down here.
Brina feels like really, really guilty because she admitted that she doesn't want to come back down here and have to stay here, and now like she admitted it to herself because she was ready to make that sacrifice and then there was a chance. So she's just like, she's kind of comatose and just like, and now I've like internally like, and now I've made this big mess and everything that I did, everyone's gonna try and undo, and they're all probably gonna die, and is like having a real existential spiral right now internally. So she's just like, just kind of, everyone's saying these things to her, and she's just like staring off and shaking her head. Goodbye.
Serena,
Don't run away from your problems, Theo.
Say again?
Sorry, Howard.
do you have a copy?
Do I have a copy?
No.
I don't think I got a physical, like, here you are, copy. No, no, I don't. And then I feel further foolish.
I wonder if there's a way to get one.
Tarina, I know there are a lot of dangers with this, but I'll be damned if I let another scenario that happens like with Pistol happen again. I never forgave myself for that day. And I won't forgive myself if we leave only with a few people. Not until we save everyone here.
Eat the spinning blue dots of Mytopia. Sorry, dude.
This is very different from that, Theo. I agreed. Willingly agreed. Oh, I wish I could turn back time. Like Tarina internally is just like, shit, what have I done? skewed this whole, all of our purposes.
What were the conditions?
I help get rid of Zariel. I wanted to say Tiamat. Boo-boo. I help get rid of Zariel
Okay.
in a fashion that doesn't interrupt or break your contracts. I just do what I can. And I get to go home. But I am in Asmodeus' service when I return to the Earth.
Huh. Borvin is like,
Again, please. Pervert is like, what?
Horvin is furiously scribbling and translating it into Infernal.
The first time it was in exchange for my life and be able to see through our returning of El. And the second time it was should I go down?
Lincoln's jaw drops. It was you. That's what you're talking about, isn't it? It was you. I tried to make a deal to get back to you all. And he said that price had already been paid. He wouldn't tell me who'd done it. It was you.
I think Lincoln already knows this, because I did say when Lincoln was like, he thought it was his dad, and then I was like, it wasn't your dad, it was me.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
There's only Dema here, sorry. Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to interrupt because this is really
barely
great, but
remember my own
also-
crap. I was trying to remember everyone else's as well. Sorry, yeah.
No, you're fine. It's a lot to remember. We can't even remember our own shit, so don't feel bad.
He's like, Lulu comes in and she's like, well, what's done is done. But what can be undone can be undone.
I don't want everyone and all of El Terrell to be stuck down here because I made decisions.
Now, hold on. You said that a condition of the contract was that you aid in getting rid of her, but to do so in such a way that doesn't affect our contracts?
Exactly. I don't have to put anyone else in danger. I don't have to make you go against Zariel and interfere with your contract. I just have to do what I can.
Well, in a legal sense, that's incredibly vague and loopholey, which is good. But so that was your condition, not his. That you would do so in a way that no one else would have to make a contract. Am I understanding that?
No, that was
His.
he freely gave that condition that I did not have to put any of you in danger.
I see. So us breaking our contract of our own volition wouldn't it wouldn't infringe on this.
No.
Okay, good.
Round the corner of the war machines steps a figure, no taller than Theo. Bearded also, although heavily trimmed. The nubs of two small horns protruding from his impeccable hairline. A suit perfectly tailored in a dark wine red. Not unlike that gnome vintage you had enjoyed the night before. I see. If you and I, my Corvan friend, ever make a deal, I shall have to word it very carefully. As he struts round, walking with a cane, atop which is a large ruby.
Mm-hmm.
He spins it idly around his fingers and leans nonchalantly against the tour bus. You have been busy little things, haven't you?
Quite.
How are you all doing?
I think we've certainly been better.
It's terribly hard to satisfy people down here. They think they're getting a good deal. And then the contract plays out, and all of a sudden they're all moping around the place, wailing, lamenting. Not you lot, though. Still got quite a bit of pluck about your stride. Look at this one. Buzzing around the place like a happy little bee. Lulu just hides behind you, Tarina.
I'm purposefully like looking into the distance, just I'm stone-faced and really pissed that I said anything.
Oh, Tarina. You were so chatty before. And it was just the two of us.
I just regret enlightening everyone.
Don't be ashamed. You did it for your friends. A selfless act. Now, why are you dilly-daddling around here? Don't you have places to be?
Too many places to be.
But all for a shared goal. You know what you need to do. All of you. Be it under contract with me or not. Just remember to disrupt things. It is, as the Six say, cannot be a change of power whilst the blood war rages so fiercely in their favor. Shudders, looks thoroughly distasteful. That Zariel that I foolishly put in charge has made a right mess of things. And I'm afraid they have the upper hand. Now, I know that you don't want them running roughshod over all of us down here, leading as that will to running roughshod over the whole multiverse and everything, everyone, everywhere you hold dear. Orvin,
Yes.
you have a date with Mordenkainen, do you not?
How shrewd. I do indeed.
He, for the moment, is working for our benefit. He seeks to maintain the balance, his precious balance. At the moment, the balance is against us, which means he is in our corner. Talk with him. Sure, he'll be a fountain of advice. As for the rest of you, I'd break the bonds that restrict you so. Why fuss about a silly Dow? Made a silly deal. Got in over their neck. There's only one contract in this group that matters an iota. And that, my dear, he bows at you, Tarina, is yours. Or I suppose there's something to be said of that one you have with our friend. He kind of skips around. Behind you, Fireman, where you have the shield of the Hidden Lord across your back. Long time no see, Gargle. You're looking well. If a little tarnished, maybe? And you, Fireman, you almost sense like a quiver that go through the shield. As if it was possible, a shield would be crapping itself. Now, I heard. He continues to address Firemore's back. No, don't turn around. Don't turn around. I've heard, Gargoth, you drummed up quite the following on your time up in the material. Such qualities of leadership. One had thought to have Bell reinstated. The drive that he would have to do better this time. But you know, maybe this flair for leadership you have, were you to be released from this prison of yours, maybe it's your time to shine. Well, busy man, lots to do. Toodaloo. Disappears. It's just a horrible, acrid smell of sulfur and brimstone left behind. Oh! He like peers out from the rift again. I almost forgot. He looks up at the sky. Come along, you lot. Come along. And then disappears. You look up where he was gesturing. You see approaching 4 imps. Fluttering down out of the sky. And they're carrying something large between them, keeping it level. And strangest thing, they're each wearing a little conical hat with colourful stripes and markings on them. A little tuft of some kind of tinselly stuff on the top, fastened under their little chins with elastic. And they come fluttering down. And as they draw level with you all, you see that between them, they're carrying what looks like a large book. There's something off about it. The texture of it looks strange. It has something stuck in it. And you see as they get closer that these 4 little imps in their little hats are carrying a large book-shaped cake. One of the imps reaches a little spindly finger up and a little gout of flame pops out and lights the candles that were thrust into its surface. And they all break into song. Feel free to join in. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Colby. Corbin Colby. Happy birthday to you.
That took me forever to understand what was happening.
Once I heard cake, I was like, oh yeah.
Imagine the people watching. Like,
Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
sorry, everyone. It is Horvin Colby's birthday as of 30 minutes over here. Not yet for you lot, I assume, unless some of you are in Japan with us or further ahead in the time stream. Happy
How
birthday,
many
mate.
people can say, as Modius wished them happy birthday?
Well, I don't know.
And on that discordant, out of time, the best way, the only way that imps would ever sing happy birthday, I think we shall leave you all there, deciding what must be done, what should be done, what can be done. And we shall leave Avernus for a while. But we'll be back in much chillier climes next Tuesday. Once we fire more. As
Firewall won't be there.
the Firewall, no. That's Josh, yes. Yes. If you enjoyed this, please join us once more on Tuesday for Rime of the Frost Maiden in the frozen north, from whence Theo's delivery came. I'm sure there's no connection there. And next Thursday, I'm afraid a vampire left Avernus and got a head start on you all, but join us all when we go back to Barovia for more Curse of Strahd. And decisions. What shall be done next time we're in Avernus? Next week. Thank you, everyone. And as we like to say around these parts, Oyasumi nasai.
Oyasumi nasai.
Bye.